No ammo.
Seemingly acknowledging that Resident Evil 3 is a little light on content without a New Game Plus, Capcom has bundled in a 4 vs 1 multiplayer mode called Resident Evil Resistance to bulk out the package. However, unlike the meaty, visually stunning single-player campaign that had me eager to return for seconds, Resistance is a briefly fun distraction that hasn't left a mark on the memory. Resistance puts a team of 4 nondescript survivors up against one of Resident Evil's canonical masterminds. As a survivor, the goal is to methodically scour the map for keys to unlock the exits of 3 areas before the timer ends. The mastermind, meanwhile, gets to cackle delightfully over-the-top dialogue.
Each step they take brings you closer to death.
And throw zombies, heavies, explosives, traps, and all sorts of other obstacles at the survivors to stop them in their tracks. The survivors' minute-to-minute search for items is the sort of thing you do in the single-player campaign. The crucial difference, though, is that these essential items are randomly scattered throughout the world instead of carefully and thoughtfully placed as part of a breadcrumb trail. So it's a puzzle in name only.
A key to open the path to further danger.
It's also annoying that there's no on-screen mini-map in Resistance, which means you have to play with your full-screen map pulled up at all times. Considering how much of playing as a survivor involves combing corridors for items, this feels like an oversight. Still, a nice sense of flow can occur if you all work together to unlock the exit as fast as possible. The 6 survivor characters have various class-based skills that are fun to play around with. That said, only Valerie, the healer, is really useful when it comes to scouting, which is the activity you spend so much of Resistance doing. She has a survival instinct skill that highlights important items on the map, and finding those is basically the whole idea of this mode. On top of that, she keeps her team alive with a healing spray. Compare that to poor Becca, who gets temporary unlimited ammo in a game where there's pretty much tons of the stuff everywhere. It's a little awkward and limiting to have one of the 6 classes feel so mandatory. Hopefully, Resistance will balance this a little better by either toning her down or giving other characters something as useful, so we can see more variety in team compositions. Speaking of spraying ammo around, guns feel good to shoot in Resistance, but there's odd visual feedback that makes it feel like not all your bullets are connecting. Considering how every bullet felt like it counted in Resident Evil 3's single-player campaign, I wish there was the same sense of control and groundedness here. Melee, thankfully, feels weighty and pretty damn effective. In my experience, the most fun to be had in Resistance is as a mastermind. Using a combination of traps, creatures, and a bioweapon to cause all sorts of chaos made me feel like a delightfully evil poltergeist. You can also take direct control of certain zombies.
Your deaths will be further evidence. This research and its byproducts are too dangerous for this world.
And your mastermind's bioweapons. Playing as these classic characters might feel clumsy, but deploying them at the right time and in the right place can make or break a game. The 4 maps that serve as your playground to tool around in are fine. They don't stand out in any particular way and tend to visually bleed into one another.
I am surprised you have come this far. I shall revise my strategy.
Unfortunately, the upgrade points you earn after each match are specific to one character instead of shared between all of them, and you'll barely earn anything if you choose to play in a custom match. That means that not only are you penalized for trying different things, but you're also incentivized to play randomized quick play matches where you can't even necessarily play as the character that you really want. Your best option is to play as a survivor in team play with your friends, or choose to play only as a mastermind, and both those options feel kinda limiting. So, there's an incentive to use boosters, which you can earn in-game for free or purchase with real-world money to level up faster. Pricing was not available at review. It's not a deal-breaker in terms of microtransactions, but it would be nice if progression were naturally a little bit smoother.
This device is stronger than you think. You will need to do more to escape.
Resident Evil Resistance's 4 vs 1 multiplayer mode has its moments, but could do with some character balancing and combat feedback that feels as good as it does in single player. Playing as the villainous mastermind is consistently far more of a blast than trying to stay alive as the unbalanced survivors, particularly because you can play as iconic baddies from across the series, but also because messing with your victims feels so good. For more on Resident Evil 3, check out my review of the single-player campaign and watch some Resistance gameplay footage. And stand by for my final review, coming soon on IGN.
One of you has seen the light.